What is going on, guys? Mechaniccg here, and welcome to LNR round number 1 of the Endurance Series. Today, we are going around the Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, a beautiful track over in the good old United States of America. And today, what we're going to be doing, driving around this track, we're driving the Forza GT cars. And today, the LNR crew are going to be putting on a show for you guys. If you guys do want to see this show live, make sure you are watching on Twitch. We typically start streaming at around about 11:30 Greenwich Mean Time. So make sure to save that in your calendars if you do want to watch. So in this race, we are going to be doing 67 laps around the Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Typical race length is going to be approximately 90 minutes to 95, somewhere around that range. And we have a wide range of different vehicles that are going to be in these Forza GTs. And starting off with the range of vehicles, we are starting with the Chevy C7R. This car is a stunning car with a 6.9 speed, 7.1 handling, 8.9 acceleration, and 7.0 braking. I think most of these tunes are actually done. Okay, so some of these tunes will be done by Rain. Rain is a very good tuner, makes very good cars. Another car in this championship is going to be the Ford GT, the 2016 one from Le Mans. A beautiful, beautiful car. Another vehicle we're going to see is the BMW M8 GTE. And the final vehicle in this championship is going to be the Porsche RSR. So the way the format that this series is going to take is every single week we're going to do one round, and it's going to alternate between Forza GT, P2, and P1. So it's going to be a mix of different stuff for the Endurance series. So make sure to save this and stay tuned for the future races. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is your grid lineup for the entire event. We are seeing Sparrow starting out in a first place position. We're going to set our view further off to the back of the pack to make sure that we can see as many of these drivers off the line as possible. So we're going to be starting with Porsche. Again, you can see all of the different vehicles that are going to be in this event. Let's get ready. Loading. Please wait. Let's do this. And we are off, and we can see the entire grid getting an amazing start off the line. These cars mixing in, blending in together. So many different categories of vehicles, different handicap levels to make sure that these vehicles are as level a playing field as possible. And you see them going through that first hairpin very nicely there, trying to get a run up into the second corner. And we do see some drivers have gone off. Let's have a look at which drivers these are. And these are Pizza Boy and Give have both gone off of the track there. See Porsche in 5th place right now. Moving up into 4th, sorry. And we can see some amazing, amazing driving. Trying to keep these cars under control through this track this is one of the most difficult tracks in Forza Motorsport 7, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see how the drivers actually manage to handle it. And again, we see Ekane as well has got caught up at the back of the pack as well. We're going to see all of the drivers coming down the corkscrew there very, very nicely. We're going to go a little bit further back of the pack now, and as you can see, loads of cars storming their way through the corkscrew there. Look at this. This is just a beautiful scene here. Seeing all these drivers going through that section. We're seeing Sparrow going into 12th position, who started in 1st, according to the grid lineup. And we are going to go have a look at 1st place, which is going to be Cuz. And Cuz normally, whenever he drives, does an amazing drive. He is driving the Ford GT today, and you can see him controlling that car very, very nicely throughout all of these corners here. But this is not what we're looking for. We're looking for Rain today. And Rain is currently looking to battle Poshy. Rain typically gets an insane drive whenever he does any races. And you can see how aggressive he is going through and stomping on those brakes to try and get a pass on Poshy throughout here. Poshy in that BMW M8 GTE car, while Rain is in the Ford GT. With a very questionable sponsor. Very, very questionable sponsor. These cars are going to start to spread out. Again, we have so many drivers today. Typically, we don't see this many drivers in a lobby. But again, this is round 1. 67 laps, as you can see. We're only on lap 2 at the moment. So we've got a long way left to go. Now going up further to the back of the pack, we're going to actually take a look at Kingdom, who is currently driving a Porsche 9... I think it's the RSR, the Porsche RSR. I don't know whether it is the 911. But he is currently in the middle of a pack of Chevys right now. And he has been overtaken by Crow. You've seen Phoenix currently trying to catch up in the artwork BMW M8. You may remember that car from Forza Motorsport 4. But instead of it being the M8, it was the M3 GT3. Absolutely stunning car. One of my favourite cars in the entire of Forza Motorsport 3. Mad Kiwi, thank you so much for that follow there. And here we see Pizza Boy looking up at the inside of Big J Burger there. And managing to make that pass. A very, very nice pass there. We're going to shift our focus further forwards. And actually take a look at Phoenix in that artwork BMW. Managing to push his way through the grid, going through the corkscrew. Kingdom getting a little bit too far on the inside there, slowing his line down dramatically throughout that section there. We see green flags being waved, which typically means caution. Somewhere on the track, someone may be going a little bit too slow. And these drivers are now moving on to their 4th lap now. Lap 4 of 67. This is a huge, huge race today. As you can see in front, you see Hobbsy going very wide there. Crow trying to look for the inside line there to potentially make a pass. Not quite managing to make it just yet. But we could potentially see some passes happening very, very soon. Now, there is currently a battle with Big J Burger and Shifty. Shifty in 19th position. Big J Burger looking to potentially get a pass against Shifty. As you see, the cars have dramatically spread out now. By the end of the next lap, I believe we're going to be seeing cars half and half. And that's where it's going to get a nightmare for me to try and work out who's actually battling with each other and who's just being lapped. Very good line through the corkscrew there. Big J Burger actually getting the slightly better line through the corkscrew, but getting the worst line through that corner afterwards. Again, the corkscrew being one of the most deadliest corners I have ever seen in a Forza game, or ever. It is such a huge drop going through that corkscrew that you have to get the line perfect, otherwise it's going to be game over for you. Now, let's go and have a look at Sparrow, the main man, the one that organizes all of these events. And Sparrow has unfortunately gone into the side of Hobbsy, and you see Pizza Boy and Apex. Sparrow obviously slowing down, letting Hobbsy keep that position though. But that is the two Chevys colliding with each other. The colours as well, if you look at the colour schemes, you'll see yellow is Ford GTs, green is going to be the Chevys, red is the BMWs, and the blues are the Porsches. So whenever you're looking at the map, that's what each of these colours mean. Now that the grid's spread out, we can actually have a look at battles now. So we are having a look at... let's get some player information. We're looking at Crow making a pass on Satan right now. A brilliant name there. And managing to succeed on that pass, but Satan going way too far around the outside there. And actually, I think... has disconnected, potentially. Yeah, this is a problem with Forza. Yeah, so he has disconnected, unfortunately. So we are now looking at Ecane at the back of the pack right now. Ecane driving the Ford GT here. The way that wing wobbles is so insanely beautiful. We can now go and have a look at Pizza Boy, who's currently battling Phoenix right now. And we got BMWs for days around us. Oh, both drivers losing control of their cars there. Pizza Boy getting a little bit of a slide through that section. And then Phoenix going a little bit too slow as well, causing a racing incident through there. Coming up to this corner. This corner doesn't look like much on the minimap, but it is a very, very sharp corner that you have to watch out for. Getting very close through the corkscrew, and contact has been made between Pizza Boy and Phoenix there. Pizza Boy pulling back a little bit. Very nice sportsmanship between the two of them there. We're actually going to go and take a look at Houdini next. Houdini is currently looking to try and catch up with his Porsche RSR, the classic Porsche RSR design, might I add. The only one you should ever take this car with. Looking to try and catch up with Dizzy right now, who's in 5th position in that Ford GT there. Very nice driving there. And we actually see someone has gone off on the track here, and that is Sparrow. Unfortunately, has pulled off to the side there. Let's go and have a look at 4th position now. 4th position is Poshy, and Poshy is looking for a typical guy right now. Trying to make the pass. BMW versus Chevy right now. A very interesting combination, I must add. But what is potentially going to be one of the most awesome battles that we're going to see today. For anyone who is new to watching LNR, Poshy loves to put on a show. And we're going to see a lot of lunges from Poshy trying to get overtakes in today's race. But for once, Poshy actually has around about 80 minutes to try and get those positions rather than the very small 20 minutes of most LNR races that we've done. This race is around about an hour and a half long, so he has plenty of time to make passes. I believe there are pit stops as well. I would be very concerned if there wasn't. In fact, we can double check if there will be pit stops. And yeah, they will be. There is excessive tyre wear right now. So we will be seeing a lot of pit stops. I mean, we are currently on lap number 8, and they're already at 18 to 20%, which means by the time we get to lap 16, they'll be at 40. Lap 30, 40 odd, they'll be 100% easy. So they will need to watch out for that and definitely keep an eye on their tyre wear throughout this race. And as you see now, coming up to lap number 9, we are seeing first place catching up with last place now. Smurfbacker, thank you so much for that follow as well. If you guys do want to make sure, if you're on YouTube watching this now and you want to see this live, make sure to follow Mechaniccg on Twitch, and we'll be streaming it every single race of this series. Let's go and have a look further back in the pack. We're going to have a look at Big J Burger now, who's currently battling with Aussie Leiden. Currently looking for that 17th place position. And I've just noticed Big J Burger has my Twitch on the back of his car. That is brilliant. Coming up to that hairpin section now. Very, very stable throughout all of this track. The only way that any of these drivers are going to be successful is by being able to control their cars as efficiently as possible. And because this track has so many like 90-degree corners that are very peculiar, is the only word to describe them, it's going to test every single stretch of these drivers today. We see Leiden getting a little bit tail happy through that section, and Big J Burger trying to prioritize on that situation to try and get himself higher up. Because you can see him getting much, much closer, coming up towards the corkscrew now. We see them getting very, very close, but not quite close enough. Very nice. We are seeing a battle for 7th position as well between Spaulding and Aussie Bogan. And we are seeing Spaulding in the BMW M8 GTE going up against Aussie Bogan's Porsche RSR right now. These cars again going to be getting very, very close to try and get any form of overtakes. We're going to be seeing pit stops. I am predicting around about 2 pit stops for this entire race. I wouldn't presume the drivers would go any further than that. They may do 3, but I wouldn't presume they go any less than 2. There's my phone going off again. I need to go on Do Not Disturb. Right, let's go have a look at 15th position. Here, we can actually see Apex eyeing up Hobbsy for another position throughout there. Slamming onto those brakes and coming back onto the main straight. Again, this final corner is so easy to overshoot because it doesn't look that tight on the minimap. But it is basically near enough a hairpin turn. It's so tight through that section. Slamming onto those brakes there. Apex is going to try and catch up as quick as he can to Hobbsy to get himself those positions. Again, with this championship, typically we do see every single position is worth points no matter where you are. So... And, oh, Benji going for the dive. And he's not pulled that off very successfully. And Apex has lost all those positions. That was a very, very naughty move from Benji there. That will probably have to be discussed afterwards. And we see Benji has spun out as well. Leiden. There has been a massive incident. See Leiden here all the way at the back. Someone has disconnected. Who was that disconnected? We shall have a look. Once the ticker has gone through. That was Apex that disconnected. Presume that he quit after he got crashed into. Which I don't blame him. Now, let's go take a look at Ekane towards the back of the pack. Ekane is back there, and we see Sparrow in 20th position. For some reason, Forza didn't want me to pick Ekane. The engine noise of the Chevy is a beautiful sound to my ears. Beautiful. And here we can see going round that hairpin curve again. The hairpin is where potentially we could see a lot of lunges towards the end of this race. And let's go have a look at Crow. Crow's currently looking for a pass on Spaulding. We're going to see Crow going to the inside there. Is he going to manage to make that pass? Trying to make a lunge. Spaulding is being pressured by Crow big time. They are going neck and neck to this next corner. Crow actually gaining 14 positions throughout this entire race so far. And we actually see a very, very nice drive. And you see Crow actually managing to make that pass on Spaulding. Is he going to be able to seal the deal before the next corner? And by the looks of it, he has sealed that deal. Spaulding has gone further back. Welcome, Death Ray, to the chat. Welcome. See Crow coming to the corkscrew right now. At least that's one corner where Forza doesn't mess up the camera angles. And by the looks of it, Crow has signed, sealed, delivered that deal. And managed to get himself a solid position. Now let's go have a look at your 19th position. 19th is Give right now. Currently eyeing up Ozzy Leiden to try and get himself a position against him. Thank you so much for that, Smurf. Means a lot to me. And here we go, coming through the corkscrew there. You see them pushing the car, trying to cut as much of that corner as possible because the corkscrew is, in theory, just a straight line. Sort of. You want to go as straight as possible through that to keep as much of your speed as possible. But again, messing it up, it will end your race quicker than you've started it. As we can see, we've got Shifty here going very slow. And Ozzy Leiden actually making that pass on Shifty. Shifty in 18th position in that BMW M8 GTE car. And then we see Leiden in 17th. Going through that hairpin. Very, very smooth. Good control of those very front tires there. Typically, when we do see any of these races, we start seeing pit stops appearing at around about 20 laps. So, potentially, we may start seeing pit stops. It won't surprise me if we do. Now, let's go and have a look further backwards towards Ozzy Bogan now. Ozzy Bogan is currently sat himself in 7th position. He has a Porsche in front of him and a Chevy behind him. The Chevy behind is actually Crow, and Crow's managed to get himself a large amount of distance from Spaulding. So much so, in fact, that he is catching up with that group ahead. And you can see Ozzy Bogan is currently being threatened by Crow. But we see Ozzy Bogan and Houdini is actually fighting together to get that 6th place position. We're going to see them try and lunge. Houdini getting that inside line, so managing to hold off that position from Ozzy Bogan getting there. But now that means Ozzy Bogan has... Oh, Ozzy Bogan's been hit by Crow. They've made contact on the inside of that corner there. There has been contact. And we are now seeing Spaulding catching up. Crow has gone behind Spaulding. You can see through that corkscrew, they are all battling like mad through here. Coming up to those braking points. And we see Ozzy Bogan making his first of his pit stops. So he is coming in to get himself a fresh set of rubbers. I presume because of the time that he is pitting, he is going for a 2-stop strategy. Again, I'm only assuming this. This is round 1. We haven't seen anything of this yet. So we see Crow making a pass on Spaulding throughout that hairpin section. Again, that braking zone is going to cause a lot of overtakes to happen, especially towards the end of this race when people start getting risky to get themselves extra points. Potentially could see a 3-stopper Kiwi, potentially. But let's go and have a look at Pizza Boy, who was very far back in the pack, towards the back, pretty much like 20th at the start of the race. He's now up into 10th position, and we're seeing him battling with Hellcat right now. Chevy and BMW, you see Hellcat going very wide, and you see Pizza Boy getting so close up to Hellcat. How are they going to manage to handle this through the corkscrew? We see them entering the corkscrew now, cutting the corners through there. Very, very nice battling. And we see Pizza Boy has actually made a potential pass, but not quite sealed it on that corner. Hellcat managing to push him back just enough. These two, while they are battling, are going to be slower than the rest of the pack, and they are going to start allowing Phoenix to actually catch up. If Phoenix can take his corners perfectly, he could catch up while these guys are battling. But coming up to that hairpin corner now, and we see Pizza Boy getting very, very close for comfort. But he believes he can get it without causing contact, which, if you believe it, you go for it. And there has been contact between Pizza and Hellcat. They are neck and neck going to this next corner here. And we can see Pizza is constantly on the back of this car. Absolutely insane. Hellcat is struggling, though, to control that car throughout some of these corners. And I wouldn't blame him. This track is so difficult. And with the amount of power that the Chevys have, and the form that they produce that power, the way that all muscle cars are designed to slide. And it's a lot more difficult to control a muscle car than it is to control that GTE. But we see Pizza Boy getting a little bit of a slide on the exit of that corner, coming through to that final corner here. And you can see Pizza Boy so close to the back of Hellcat right now. We're going to see them getting very close. And you see even airtime. That's how fast these cars are running. We are running around about 850 performance points on average for each car. Slightly higher than the homologated regulations for Forza. But they are all designed to be exactly the same performance level. So no car is better than the other. You see Pizza Boy, again, backing off. But he could potentially get the pass on Hellcat right now. He is neck and neck. Going through that braking zone, and Pizza Boy has made that pass on Hellcat. Hellcat sliding through that corner. He's going to lose himself a lot of time. It is all down to this next corner and the corkscrew, whether Pizza Boy has sealed the deal. Pizza Boy going very nicely through there, and so does Hellcat. And these guys are going to be coming up to the corkscrew. This is where it could all go wrong for them. See Pizza Boy going very nicely through there, and I believe that is the deal signed, sealed, and delivered. Pizza Boy delivering that pizza very nicely. Meow. Right, let's go and have a look at another battle then. And we are going to go and have a look at the... Oh, who's this that's off the track? I believe that could potentially be Ekane. That is Ekane off the track there. He's just pulled over to let drivers pass. Let's go and have a look at Houdini now, which is slightly further on. And we see Houdini is currently battling for a 7th place position against Spaulding. Very nice there. Meow. These cars are going to be spreading out like crazy, but there are going to be multiple battles for position changes. And in fact, we are currently seeing a battle between Sparrow and Shifty. Let's go and say hello. Sparrow is currently in 20th position. Again, all these positions are worth points, so every single battle means something to these drivers. And whether it's 20th position or 1st position, they are all worth points. And we can see Sparrow is looking to eye up that 19th place position off of Shifty right now. Most of these drivers will be running a controller setup. There we go, coming up to the corkscrew. We can actually see these cars are catching up with Give right now. Give looking for a position. We have a typical guy currently trying to squeeze his way through these back markers of drivers here. Typical guy, seeing him storming the pack there. So already past Sparrow with no problem. And Shifty is going to have to move over for a typical guy if he comes anywhere close to him. There you go, Shifty has moved over. Typical guy has gone past. See these cars going so fast down this straight and then slamming on their brakes to go through this hairpin corner like that. Absolutely supreme. We're now going to take a look at Leiden and Benji. Both of these drivers are running the Chevy package. These two are getting very, very close. They're going to be battling fairly soon. And we are now on lap number 22. Out of 67. Got ourselves another 45 laps to go. And here we see Leiden. He is trying to eye up, going up on the inside, and you see him getting that pass on Benji. A very nice overtake there. Tanner, welcome to the chat. Welcome to round 1 of the LNR Endurance Series. We are going around Laguna Seca, and we are looking at Benji currently trying to get that position on Aussie Leiden. Again, very, very close. And we see Benji going a little bit off the track there. And Leiden is going to try and get away as quick as possible. Let's go and take a look as a request of Rue. Let's go and have a look at Phoenix. Whereabouts is he? He is currently sat in 11th position in his absolutely supreme BMW art car. Love this car. Went to bed at midnight and it's 7 AM. I know the feeling. And I believe Phoenix is the next car to actually get lapped by Rain. Rain again, storming the pack as he always does. Rain is the alien. The alien driver. For some reason, a typical guy in Poshy and Houdini have 0 feet distance from leader. I think something has broken in the server. Oh, wow. Let's go and take a look at Pizza Boy, who is currently in 9th position. He's gone up one more position since we last saw him. And he's currently looking at 8th position to try and catch up with Houdini and get that overtake. Are we going to see a pass from Pizza Boy? Very, very nice driving there. Pizza Boy getting a little bit skittish through there. But he is catching up with the beautiful RSR. And it actually made a lunge and a half there. What a lunge. Didn't get the exit, but that was nearly sealed and delivered. Right, here we see Pizza Boy currently catching up with Houdini right now and going through the corkscrew of Laguna Seca. This is where time can be lost and gained so easily between drivers. Pizza Boy going through there very, very cleanly. And you see Houdini actually catching up with Spaulding as well. Spaulding in the BMW, I believe. No problem, Rune, no problem. You're more than welcome to watch the commentary here. And here we see all of the drivers going through that hairpin once again for the 24th time. Pizza Boy getting a little bit slidey, a little bit tail happy through there. And we see Spaulding going very sideways. And Houdini trying to catch up, prioritize on that situation and get that pass. You see Houdini has actually managed to pass Spaulding. A very, very nice overtake there. They're going to be coming up to this very sketchy corner. And Spaulding as well sliding through there. We're going to see Pizza Boy actually managing to nearly make that pass. Is he going to seal the delivery? And he has. Pizza Boy's made that pass. Going through the corkscrew too wide. And Pizza Boy has had to push himself out a little bit wide there. But still managed to make that pass on Spaulding. A very, very nice pass. Pizza Boy's gone wide though, and Spaulding's gone and prioritized that position. Managed to make himself present. And get back into that 8th position. Then neck and neck going into that hairpin again. 25th time. Pizza Boy's got the outside line, which unfortunately is going to ruin that. And going to lose him that position. And he's gone so wide there that he's given a 100 feet distance between the two cars. Half a second, that's not a lot between drivers, especially after already been racing for around about 40 minutes now. 35, 40 minutes. 0.3 seconds is like nothing. They are so close between each other. With an identical skill level. And this is where the battles will happen. Let's get some mech pogs in the chat. Coming up to the corkscrew again. And we are going to see Houdini is flying away now. He's trying to get as much distance between him and Spaulding as possible. And Spaulding's just trying to get back up to Houdini now. But he's gone very wide, and Pizza Boy coming up on the inside there. Very, very, very close to the rear of his car there. He's going to try and make a lunge on this final corner, and he has done it very, very nicely there. So much time gained That is crazy. We actually see Hobbsy is now in the pit lane. He's currently fueling up, changing his rubbers. Got another 40 laps left of this race. We've only done 27, so again, we're looking at around about another hour or so for this race. See Pizza Boy already trying to catch up with Houdini there. Trying to get as close as he possibly can. Pizza Boy managing to storm through the positions. In fact, let's go and take a look at grid changes right now. Because we can actually have a look and see how Pizza Boy has actually changed. We see Rain has gone up 6 positions. Poshy 2 positions. And so far, Crow has gone up 18. Pizza Boy 11 positions. Spullin gone up 9. Hellcat's gone up 6. And then we see Sparrow has gone down 14, unfortunately. Benji's gone up 2. Leiden's gone down 5. Gibbs gone down 4 since the start. And then Ekane still at the back of the pack. And Apex and Satan, I think, DC'd. We see Houdini and Pizza Boy currently fighting, trying to catch up with Benji right now. Or Benji is about to get lapped by these guys, sorry. We've also got Rain currently catching up with Pizza Boy. Benji is about to get lapped doubly right now. And unfortunately, we see Houdini and Benji going off the track there. And Pizza Boy getting himself into a 7th place position. What a shame. The two drivers colliding together. And we see Houdini in 8th position now. Rain managing to squeeze himself past with little to no battle whatsoever. So most of the rearward drivers are actually spreading out quite dramatically. And in fact, Rain is in the process of actually lapping 8th place. So it's not that far before he laps 2nd place. But we are going to go and take a look at 5th place now. And that is Poshy. He has made himself a pit stop. So he's gone down back to 5th position. I think he was in 4th before. And he's now got Dizzy, who is directly behind him. As you can have a look over here. Dizzy is in that Ford GT. I am unsure whether those guys have taken their laps already or not. But they could potentially have already. We will never know. As you can see through the corkscrew, we've only seen Chevys go through the corkscrew pretty much. Just the entire group of Chevys are all bunched together right now. Crow is 4.1 seconds ahead of Poshy, while Dizzy is 1.1. But as you can see, Poshy and Crow, that time difference is just constantly going down. Like, it was 4.1 about 5 seconds ago. It's now 3.7, 3.6, 3.8, 3.7, 3.6. You see the time difference is going down like crazy. And I believe it's probably the fresh rubbers doing that for Poshy. But I also think Poshy was well ahead of Crow anyways before he had the pit stop. So it could also be the fact that Poshy's doing a good drive today. Very nice. I don't think I'd be capable of doing an endurance race like this. I think it would be too long for me. Houdini has actually made a pass on Ozzy Bogan, so apparently he has gone down an extra 2 positions from when we last saw the camera on him. No worries, Death Ray. Right, we are now taking a look at Dizzy, who currently has the BWT, the old Racing Point design on his car. Very, very nice. Here we can see Dizzy actually trying to catch up with Rain right now to unlap himself. Dizzy going a little bit wide there. Getting a little bit sideways. Here we do see the drivers spreading out very dramatically. We're now looking at a battle between Hobbsy, who has a very beautiful Red Bull design. I've never seen a black and red Red Bull design before. Absolutely superb design there. And Hobbsy's going to try and make a pass on Sparrow, going on the inside. And lining himself up for an inside overtake into the hairpin. We are currently seeing around about 9.8% tyre wear for Hobbsy's vehicle. And Hobbsy making himself that pass on the inside very nicely there. A very nice pass. Let's go further back towards Sparrow and see if Sparrow is going to battle to get that position back. You see Poshy making the pass on Sparrow and Crow. And now that we have Crow and Poshy between the two cars, Hobbsy has that chance to gain time before he has to move out of the way. And I believe that's going to spread them out big time. And especially when Rain gets into the mix. That dive bomb from Rain, though. Soaring past Sparrow and then diving up the inside of Poshy. And look at that pass. An amazing pass there. And I believe that is also Rain in the pit lane right now. So he's going in for a fresh set of rubbers. But I believe Rain, based off of where second place position is, I believe Rain is going to still come out in first place. But let's go have a look at Cuz now. Cuz is currently sat in second place, doing an amazing drive. You see how well he's taken those corners. Some insane speed there. Yeah, so Rain has still in that first place position. You see the time dropping dramatically as Cuz is passing all of those markers where the time's kept. And there you go. So around about 9 seconds behind Rain now. So Rain's lead has been shortened. But again, best lap is Rain. And the leader is Rain. So Rain is doing a very good job at the moment. But let's go to Crow and Poshy, who are currently battling for 4th place right now. As you see Poshy going around the outside, Crow going very slow. And just giving that position to Poshi. Very interesting. Very interesting tactic there. Right, we are now on board Spaulding right now, who's trying to catch up with Houdini. And you can see Spaulding trying to get that pass on the inside of Houdini, actually making contact between the two drivers, Spaulding backing off a little bit. Gearbox damage, I don't believe there is any damage in this game, in these races. And here we see them going through the corkscrew there. Spaulding trying to get as close as possible to Houdini. But managing to miss his lineup ever so slightly, so he's going to lose a lot of time through there now. 0.7 seconds, again, not a lot of time, especially taking on the factor that we have done 35 laps and about an hour. Houdini's gone very wide there. Interesting. Spaulding just gave Houdini that position. Okay. And then now Spaulding has a 1.6 second gap to try and catch up with, which is a very large number. A very large number to try and catch up with. Right, we're now on board Aussie Bogan right now. Currently taking a look, trying to get passes on Spaulding. Aussie Bogan's managing to close that gap quite dramatically now, getting himself 1.1 second. Spaulding going very slow through that corner. Maybe it's a lack of confidence through there. I have no clue. But let's go have a look at Poshi now. Poshi is eyeing up Dizzy, and Dizzy is also currently trying to eye up Crow. So these two are, or these three, are going to be battling for quite a while. And we see Poshi going a little bit wide there, losing his line. But gap between Poshi and the car behind is 24.4 seconds, which is a very, very large number. A very safe distance for him. Right, these drivers have now closed the gap between each other. We're seeing Poshy looking at the inside of Crow here. For some reason, Crow's name is not on... There it is. Crow's name's now appeared. And Poshy making that pass, getting himself up into that 5th place position there. Very nice pass. And now eyeing up Dizzy. But Crow is also... Crow has slowed down a large amount, and I'm really surprised why. He's now gone down multiple positions, and I can only believe he's now gone into the pit lane. So I could only believe that it was dramatic tyre wear. So whether Crow has tried to do a one-stop strategy, which for doing 37 laps, stopping, and then doing 30 means his tyres are going to be slightly better at the end of this stint than his next one. But that's a long time to go without a pit stop. A very long time to go. So we're now seeing Poshy trying to catch up with Dizzy. Poshy obviously made his pit stop at around about lap 28, I believe. So Poshy will have to make an extra pit stop. Potentially. We have only got 29 laps left to go. So we are well past the halfway mark. Dizzy will not give it up. Not at all. Dizzy will fight with his last breath for that position. But Poshy is catching up, and Dizzy sliding around that corner, giving Poshy a massive window of opportunity. Contact has been made, so Poshy is going to go wide to try and regain that time as much as possible. And we see Dizzy spinning his car, losing control of the rear of it. Whether that is tyre wear, I do not know, but he has lost that position there. What a shame. And Poshy has now made himself up into 4th position, but going very, very wide. And actually going off the track. Dizzy could potentially catch back up there. Dizzy is right on his tail. Let's move further back so we can see more of this battle. Dizzy right on Poshy's tail right now. And Dizzy's going to try and get an inside line onto this next corner. Is he going to be able to make that pass again? And he has. He's now back up into 4th position. Poshy has lost that position. He's given it up. We can see Dizzy has gained 9 positions over this entire race. Poshy has maintained his, but we see Pizza Boy and Crow going up 13 and 16 places respectively. A very nice drive from those ones. And Phoenix with 11 places as well. Very, very good drive. Unfortunately, Hobbsy hasn't done so well. He's gone down 11 places. But again, I think Hobbsy got into one of the crashes towards the start, and so did Sparrow. And especially if you crash at the start, it can knock all your confidence straight away. Coming through that final corner there. Poshy is still trying to eye up that position. And here we have Poshy looking to try and come up towards the inside. Dizzy has slid around that corner. He's lost a lot of time through there again. Poshy could potentially come through on the inside there. And again, we do see Rain up behind trying to pass. So these guys are going to have to move out of the way for Rain at some point. Dizzy slid around that corner again. We could potentially see Poshy even make a pass as soon as possible. But once Rain comes through, these guys are either going to get split up dramatically, or they're going to get pushed so close together that they're going to be battling for lap after lap. We also see them trying to catch up with Shifty, who is currently in 20th position. And Shifty is also in the BMW car. You see them cutting that corner dramatically, but again, no race rules at all. And Rain's actually backed off a bit. I don't know whether Rain's just trying to conserve his tyres as much as possible so that he doesn't have to take an extra pit stop. No worries, Root. We'll see you later, dude. You see Dizzy and Poshy still fighting for that position. Rain is catching up big time now. Rain's going to try and do an easy pass now. These guys are neck and neck. See Poshy actually locking up his wheels slightly. Rain going on the inside, which causes Dizzy to go wide. And gives Poshy an opportunity to actually catch up even more. And Dizzy losing control of the rear of his car there. And Poshy going on the inside. Could potentially make that pass. And there we have it. Poshy has sealed that deal. But the Ford GT managing to storm back after the loss of that position. But Poshy being on the inside line will keep that. Losing control, but again, being in front of Dizzy means that he doesn't lose his position. This is a close battle now. Poshy does now have Shifty in his way, though, that he has to watch out for. Going through that corkscrew. Poshy is getting very nervous right now. Because, again, he has that Shifty in his way. And you see Dizzy actually going on the inside of that corner. But Poshy's like, nope. Cutting him off on the inside. Now, Poshy's gone wide, which means Dizzy actually gets that position back. And unfortunately, there is now no traffic in front of them. So this battle could potentially end here. But by the looks of it, it's not going to. Poshy is right on Dizzy's tail. And he's going to be fighting for that position as long as possible. Shifty wants to get himself unlapped as much as possible. But not going to be battling with Poshy at all. Poshy is so close. And you see Dizzy losing control of the rear of his car again. Those Fords seem to be so slippery right now. Let's now take a look at Pizza Boy. So we came to Pizza Boy a while ago. And when we saw Pizza Boy, he was at the back, fairly far at the back of the pack at the start of the race. He's now managed to push himself up 12 positions, alongside Crow with 17 positions, to get himself up to 7th place. And he's been battling for these positions for so long. He's just been in constant battles, and every single battle he's been in, he's won. And Pizza's done a solid drive. Again, grids are random, so potentially Pizza is one of those drivers that will be at the top of the grid for most of them. But future races will be based off of, or the next Forza GT race will be based off of this race's points. So it's all down to how well Pizza does for this race. This is technically his qualifying for the next race. Just a 67 lap qualifying, where you are forced to do all 67 laps. And we see Pizza storming his way through this track. He's going to try and get as many positions as possible. Let's go a little bit further back to Spaulding and Houdini now. These two are battling again. BMW versus Porsche. Oh, and we see Spaulding going a little bit wide there, so he is going to lose a lot of time. And here we see Pizza Boy has actually gained time. He is gaining time like that against Crow. See 0.8 seconds. Come to the next corner, he'll probably be 0.7. Okay, maybe not. Right, we are back on board with Poshy now, and Poshy is still catching up with Dizzy. Now that Cuz is, has lapped these guys, but is in front of them, there's potentially going to be traffic. Cuz is on the same level as Dizzy in that, but because he's sort of lapped them. Cuz could potentially be on worn-out tires right now, which could slow him down. And we do see Poshy coming in for his second pit stop. So this is going to be the last time that we see Poshy in the pits. Dizzy is now going to get himself some distance, but potentially could end up losing himself. If he stays out for too long on worn tyres, he may lose a lot of time. So need to work out what is the best time for him to pit. We see Pizza Boy is up in 6th position now after overtaking Poshy in the pit lane. But again, I believe if we take a look at the damage meter, we can see that Pizza Boy does have 37% damage. So he is going to be coming into the pits very, very shortly. Right, we're now on board with Hobbsy now. And Hobbsy is currently trying to catch up with Leiden. We are on lap 46, which means there is approximately 20 laps left. So we have gone over the 2/3 mark now. We're very far into this race. And Leiden currently has traffic in front of him. He's got Shifty. See Hobbsy going very, very wide. A very interesting line there for someone to take. Typically, we don't see a line that wide on that final corner. Coming through the hairpin now. Leiden's going to make the pass on Shifty. Demon, what is up? How are you today? Right, we are now back on board with Pizza Boy once again. And Pizza Boy is getting very, very close to Crow now. He's 0.3 seconds behind. And potentially we could see an overtake happen any minute now. And coming up to that corkscrew, Pizza Boy's getting very, very close to Crow. But managed to lose himself a bit of time through there. But again, Pizza Boy on those worn tyres, he's going to start suffering through these sections. But I believe Crow is also on very worn tyres. And Pizza Boy getting very, very close to that tyre wall on the inside there. So far, we haven't seen anyone crash into that. I hope I haven't just jinxed that. But so far, we haven't seen it. And that is pretty impressive for the amount of laps as well. Because those tyre walls, you go even a tiny bit off, you're going to go into one of them. And Pizza Boy is trying to look to get around the outside of Shifty, so that he doesn't have too much traffic. But by the looks of it, Shifty has slowed him down by approximately 0.2 seconds, which is enough to separate this battle and potentially cause Pizza Boy a bit of a headache. I believe as soon as Pizza Boy is out of this fight and has lost it, or lost the slipstream, I would presume he'd come in for a fresh set of rubbers. But while he is still in the fight to get that position to get extra time on Crow, he'll battle for it. And we do see Poshy behind as well, very, very close. Again, on those fresh rubbers, trying to catch up with him. We have these guys that are going through this corner like ham. Crazy. Trying to power through this as strong as possible. Coming up on the inside of that line there. I believe Pizza Boy is going to pit soon, though. I can see that he is struggling, keeping this car under control, as well as Crow. I'm very surprised they've gone this long without a pit stop. I presume the only other solution that I can see that they're doing is a one-stop strategy. But it does seem like a very long time to go without a pit stop. Pizza Boy has gone into the back of Crow there, but managed to back off just a little bit. But that now means Poshy is going to be catching up. You can see Poshy just behind there with Hobbsy in tail. But Hobbsy again is the 15th place car. And you've got the 14th place car, Leiden, just up ahead. But these guys are battling in this midfield right now to try and get these positions. Poshy's getting very close to Pizza Boy, and Poshy could potentially ruin this chance for Pizza Boy to get any positions against Crow by splitting up this pack right now. We do see Pizza Boy storming the corkscrew. He's let gravity do all the work there. He's not used any throttle, or a very minor amount of throttle. That kind of corner, though, you do rely on gravity. And we do see another driver in the pit lane right now. And said driver is Dizzy. And as you can see, unfortunately, because Dizzy has taken his pit stop so late, we do see him come out just behind Poshy. Poshy has made those positions now because of that. And Dizzy is now in 7th place. And we see Pizza Boy in 5th right now. But he has just been overtaken by Poshy. Again, Pizza Boy is going to have to make a pit stop fairly soon on those tyres, because being at well over 40% wear is quite difficult to control in this game, actually. And we do see it is going to be a battle between Dizzy, Poshy, Pizza, and Crow right now. Pizza Boy going up 13 positions throughout this entire race. He's up in 5th place. Poshy did make the pass, but seems to have lost it again. We see Dizzy again on the fresher tyres, but he is gonna... He could catch up with Poshy and be a little bit quicker, but I don't see it happening for a while. But I do see a final lap battle happening between Poshy and Dizzy for potentially 3rd place. So, excited to see that. We've got 17 laps before we see that, though. Maybe 15. As you see, Poshy and Pizza Boy getting that airtime there. Pizza Boy's going to go wide. Poshy's going to go on the inside there, making contact, the two drivers there. You see the speed at which these guys are driving at is absolutely superb. Pizza's not letting that position go without a fight. He's gone on the inside there, and he's actually made that pass back. With really worn tyres, Pizza Boy has gone past Poshy. No problem. Very, very good there. And Dizzy's actually catching up big time to Poshy. Poshy should be worried now. With the amount of time and the amount of speed that Dizzy has gained, just in that short space, I think Dizzy's not going to be long before he's overtaken Pizza Boy as well. Dizzy in that 4GT, though, going around the outside of Poshy, or eyeing up the outside of Poshy, should I say. Coming up to this final corner, this is where any of the drivers could miss their braking spots. But none of them have done it, which is very good. A typical guy has gone up 1 position. Pizza Boy gone up 14. Dizzy gone up 6 positions. Hellcat's gone up 5. Spalding's gone up 9. And we see Hobbsy has gone down 11, unfortunately. Sometimes it's not about the tyre wear till they're red. See, this game, it's different to the older ones, because the older ones, when it was red, it meant it was gone. But this game, tyre wear, you can start feeling it as soon as it's at 20%. And that's what I don't like about this game, is you feel it so soon. But we do see Poshy, again, eyeing up around the outside. Crow's managed to gain himself a good amount of distance, though. So while Pizza Boy's been fighting with Poshy to keep his position, Crow has prioritized on that and managed to storm himself ahead as much as he possibly can. We are only on lap 52, though. Pizza Boy could potentially just push this car until the very final. He's only got 15 laps left. And I believe Pizza Boy went for his pit stop fairly late. So he could push until the end. Poshy does have a car between him and Pizza Boy, so unfortunately, Poshy's not going to be gaining any time until he gets past that traffic car. And, Pizza Boy is gaining time. You can see that, 1.5, or 1.4. And, while there's no traffic car as well, Pizza Boy could also potentially catch up with Crow. He's gained already 0.5 seconds, sorry. That is now. That is a decent amount of time that has been gained. And Pizza Boy can now see FTC Crow to potentially get himself a 4th place position. Poshy is now no longer on my screen. What has happened? I cannot see Poshy on my screen. Poshy has been overtaken by Dizzy, and Poshy's now lost himself 1 whole second. So some form of contact may have happened towards the back there. But Pizza Boy is now 1 second behind Crow. Less than a second behind Crow now. And has a 3.1 second gap to Dizzy right now. The tires are like, yo, I'm alright. This is the exact same as Lewis Hamilton's Bono, my tires are dead. Actually, no, my tires are fine now. But the one problem that let's have a look at the telemetry. No, that's not the one, it's the damage. So again, we see Pizza Boy is currently on low fuel, 29%, but the last time we did check, again, 62% tire wear. Last time we did check, the tires were about 28% and he had 50% fuel. Potentially, he could push to the end of this race and just finish with 1 to 2% of fuel. But again, a very, very late pit stop. Let's actually have a look and take a look at Crow and take a look at his telemetry. And again, cosmetic damage only, as you can see. He's got 57% fuel, so Crow will not be taking another pit stop by the looks of it. But again, Crow took a pit stop at around about halfway, and he's gone through 40% fuel. 44. I believe, I do believe that Pizza could finish this race, no problem, without any form of pit stop. And here we see Pizza is now currently 0.7 seconds behind. Still trying to catch up. Let's now have a look at Poshy. And Poshy, I don't know why there's player information. Poshy has now made a pass on the inside of Dizzy there, getting his position back. These two are going to be fighting for a while, trying to get that 6th place position. And again, Poshy has now lost it to Dizzy again. These two are going neck and neck. Going up to the corkscrew now. And coming through the corkscrew, Poshy has gone on the inside, making contact with Dizzy and because of that contact, it's pushed him further into the corner than he would have liked, and he's lost a lot of time from that. They're now going up. Again, this is an endurance event. These drivers have to be focused for a fairly long time, and it's also late night for them. So that's going to add a whole new combination of challenges for these drivers. But again, these two battling is going to slow them down big time, to the point that they may not even catch up with Pizza, unless Pizza takes a pit stop. Poshy going around the outside. They're very aggressive. Very aggressive around the outside there from Poshy. Trying to get the pass on Dizzy as much as possible, but I believe Poshy may have lost himself a lot of time there. We do see a typical guy trying to catch up with Poshy now. Going on lap 56. In fact, can we see what laps these guys are on? That's the one problem, is the fact that we can't see what lap everyone is on. But if we have a look at time differences, if we look at Cuz, he's currently 20 seconds behind Rain. Typical guy is now 40 seconds behind Cuz. And then Crow is a whole lap behind a typical guy. Or nearly a whole lap. We've got Pizza Boy that is very, very close to Crow again. We've got Dizzy, we've got Poshy. These two fighting like crazy. Again, I'm looking for battles where people are close enough that it's going to be interesting to watch. Right, we're now on board Rain Righteous here, and Rain, again, has been storming all of these LNR events, and you can see, for the first round of the Endurance Series, he's doing an amazing job storming the pack. You can see how well he can control this car, and the amount of speed that he carries through these corners is unlike anything I've seen before. Rain is up there with some of the best drivers I've seen. In fact, I would go out of my way to say Rain is so alien-like, he's one of the best drivers I've ever witnessed. And the speed that he can control through these corners is supreme. And all throughout this race, he's had traffic to deal with. He's coming back up to a lap 15th position once again. I believe Dizzy again, one lap behind the leader. We'll have a look and use Ekane as our reference, but yeah, as you can see, Ekane actually disconnected, unfortunately, but third place has been lapped 3 times by Rain. Or whatever it was. The last place Ford has been lapped 3 times by Rain. We're now on board Poshy and Dizzy battling again, swapping those positions backwards and forwards, trying to get the passes as much as possible. Coming up to the corkscrew again. This is where Dizzy and Poshy lose positions like madness, swapping constantly throughout there. Welcome Hillbilly, welcome to the chat. How are you today? Hopefully having a great day. And here we go, we can see Poshy going around the outside, touching the dirt through that section, slamming onto the brakes, getting as close to Dizzy as possible, but Poshy is now struggling. He's got the more worn out tyres out of the 2 cars. And there you go, you see Poshy has gone past Dizzy again. We're going to try and come back to these guys later on towards the race. Let's go and have a look at Pizza Boy. Pizza Boy's lost a lot of time to Crow now. Pizza Boy's going to have to make his pit stop very soon, because you look, he's going to lose 2 positions, and if he doesn't do it soon, we could see 8th position catching up far enough that he could lose 8th as well. We are now on board Give right now, and Give is currently been overtaken by, I can't even see the gamer tag anymore. He's been overtaken by Ozzy Bogan, but he's also just overtaken Shifty after Shifty went off the track. And here we see Shifty at the back of the pack right now. He is the last place driver, unfortunately, except for the 2 disconnects. In fact, is he the last place? Who's the last place? Yeah, so Shifty is currently the last place driver right now. But again, that BMW is an absolute beast to try and handle. And we do see Shifty coming into the pits again, so he's going to be losing a lot of time to the rest of the drivers there. Coming into the pit lane. And there you go. Please change tyres. I need some fresh rubbers. Let's go now have a look at Ozzy Bogan and Houdini, who are currently battling for a 9th place position. Ozzy Bogan trying to get as close as possible. Only 0.8 seconds between the 2 of these guys. Tyre wear can be a massive factor between these and why their positions are getting... the times are getting longer, getting shorter. But again, these guys are trying their hardest for this section. You see Houdini actually messing up his exit there, losing a lot of time. Pizza is going to be running on fumes very, very soon. And Ozzy Bogan has unfortunately lost a lot of time there through that section, so we are not going to be seeing him battling anytime soon. Unfortunately. I believe that position has been lost, unfortunately. Or maybe not. Maybe I should just shut my mouth. Ozzy Bogan catching up with at least a 1 second boost up there. Ozzy Bogan coming up to that hairpin corner now. Is he going to get himself out of double digits, though? Is he going to be able to get himself out of double digits? We have 6 more laps left to go. Again, this race has been absolutely long. But there has been so much action between the drivers. There's been position changes like crazy. Not going to lie, this is one of the more enjoyable series out of the 3 series that I've commentated for. The Triple Tree and the Porsche versus Mustang. This has been one of the best. It's been a lot of fun to spectate, and tomorrow's is going to be even better because it's touring cars, and I love touring cars. Here we see Ozzy Bogan again gaining so much time, getting so close there. Getting up to 0.9, and unfortunately Ozzy Bogan has touched his tyres into that gravel, so he's going to be losing a bit of time. Kiwi, looking forward to seeing you in the race tomorrow then. I'm going to be spectating Lobby 1, so if you're in other lobbies, I won't be able to spectate it. But I believe they get mixed around based on a qualifying session, so as long as you qualify good, you should be in the spectator lobby. I think it's based off of the times that you submit as well. Right, let's go further up forwards. Poshy and Dizzy are still battling. What the hell? Dizzy's further back. Right, we'll try and come back to Poshy later for the final lap, or the final 2 laps. Here we see Ozzy Bogan trying to catch up, going on the inside of Houdini if he can through that corkscrew, managing to gain himself about 0.1 second, which, do that 4 times, he'll catch up and overtake him, no problem. Losing himself 0.2 seconds through that second corner, though, after the corkscrew. Going to be coming up to that final corner now. Is he going to manage to keep that car under control? And Ozzy Bogan is going to do it. Pizza Boy has made a pit stop, and he's managed to keep himself ahead. But he now has to try and push to try and catch up with Dizzy. He's got 22 seconds to gain in around about 5 or 6 laps. So, that's going to be a massive push. A massive push. We have 10 viewers, by the way, right now, which is insane. I think that's the most that we've had for LNR at any given moment. So, thank you guys. Hopefully you're enjoying it. We are actually going to go and have a look at Kingdom now. And Kingdom is currently eyeing up Hobbsy. As we see Kingdom going through this section here. He's going to be going through that final corner. And again, this is where drivers will lose time, especially if they're like within 0.5 seconds of the other driver. You can lose so much time through that section by having to lift to make sure you don't make contact. But we see these drivers very, very clean racing. Came for the interest, stayed for the commentary, and clean racing. Thank you so much for that, dude. These guys are amazing at driving. And Hobbsy has managed to lose that position. I wasn't actually paying attention to that one. I think Hobbsy might have gone a little bit wide there. So we do have another race tomorrow, around about the same time. So make sure to save that time for tomorrow. Well, that song's stuck in my head. I gotta edit this into a YouTube video. Yeah, brilliant. Fun times. And we actually see Kingdom messing up his line through there. Going a little bit wide on the corkscrew. Time start will be around about 11:30 GMT in the morning. I don't know what time that is Australian time, but GMT is a middle ground. I'm trying to think. I think Poshy's been lapped 3 times now. Or 2 times. Maybe once. I'm not sure. I'm losing track. There's so many cars mixing up, it's crazy. Spullen and Houdini are fighting. And here we go. The final few laps. We are down to the last 3 or 4 for most of the drivers. But Rain is on his final lap right now. And as you can see, Houdini is currently catching up to Spullen. We've also got Ozzy Bogan trying to get those positions. And as you can see, Bogan is hot on their tail. Bogan been trying for so long to get himself out of those double digits. And we see Houdini making that pass on Spullen there. Spullen going very far on the inside there, potentially giving up time for Ozzy Bogan. And you see Ozzy Bogan trying to come up on the inside there. He's going to push and get that position if he can. Spullen going very, very slow through here. Very, very good line. And Houdini does have Cuz now between him and Spullen. So it looks like Houdini may have sealed the deal for an 8th place finish. As we can see, Cuz has made his way past. But we do now see Houdini, Ozzy Bogan and Spullen trying to push together. Ozzy Bogan's gotten himself out of those double digits now. He's in 9th position at the moment. How's he going to do? And again, hour and 36 minutes for the race. Rain has crossed that finish line. We are going to see 2 laps behind for most of these drivers till the race end. 3 laps behind for Big J Burger. And we are looking at around about 4 laps for Give and for Shifty as well. And Spullen has pushed his way past Ozzy Bogan there. There is going to be contact. There is going to be beef going on. We see Cuz as well has finished his race. So Cuz in front there is now an AI driver. So they're going to have to deal with an AI right now. Ozzy Bogan is pushing his way in front of Spullen there, as you can see. And a typical guy has now finished 1 hour, 37 minutes and 7 seconds. These guys are on their second to last lap. Cuz and Houdini, the AI of Cuz has crashed into Houdini. And that's pushed him back into 10th place. What a shame. The AI has absolutely messed Houdini up. And he's now gone back into 10th position. And Ozzy Bogan, Houdini's gone back in front of Spullen. I don't know whether Spullen's slowed down out of pity. But that AI, dangerous. These guys are on their final lap now. They won't have long left before they cross the finish line. You see Crow is about to cross the finish line as well. Pizza Boy is also on his final lap. We see he's very, very close to the finish as well. Most of these guys will have 1 extra lap to finish as well. Crow, welcome to the chat, my dude. Pit strategy for the win. That one stop was amazing from Crow. Going from 23rd to 4th, a brilliant, brilliant finish. Absolutely insane. Pizza battling with Crow for so long as well, but Pizza had to take that extra pit stop, unfortunately, due to him not having enough fuel. And someone has disconnected, unfortunately. We've seen Houdini there. We see Kingdom has DNF'd right at the end. What a shame. What a shame. I believe they will update those points to make sure that he gets his position that he was in. And that is it. Houdini, Pizza Boy, Aussie Bogan have finished their race. 1 minute 39.26 with Aussie Bogan less than a second behind. Crow, thank you so much for that follow. An insane race from all other drivers today. Right, so the results of today's race. We have in first place position in the Ford GT, of course, it is the man, the myth, the legend, and the alien, Rain Righteous, with a total time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 8 seconds, finishing off with his best lap, a 1 minute 24.2, and only 0.5 seconds off of his best lap is Cuz, with a 1 hour, 36.24. Third place is a typical guy, fourth place, Crow. Crow as well, doing a one-stop strategy there. Very, very good drive from him. Dizzy coming 5th, Poshy 6th, Pizza Boy 7th, doing his 2 stops, and I think that second stop did lose him that position against Crow, unfortunately. Houdini in 8th, Aussie Bogan 9th, Spall in 10th, as well. Spall in taking a one-stop strategy as well. Could see a pattern going on throughout this series. Hellcat in 11th, Phoenix 12th, Leiden 13th, Big J Burger 14th, Hobbsy 15th, Sparrow 16th, Benji 17th, Give 18th, and then Shifty in 19th position. Shifty, the only one taking 3 stops in that entire race. And our non-finishes were Kingdom, Ekane, Apex, and I'm Satan Jr.